Hinduism is one of the world's biggest religions. It is no surprise that Megami Tensei is heavily influenced by the mythos not just in Hinduism, but other religions as well. With this top 10, I will rank my favorite 10 demons from Hinduism, and give you a little historical background into them. This is purely subjective, and if you think I've excluded a certain demon, please be sure to let me know in the comments why I should have picked that one in particular. Now let's begin. Coming in at 10, we have Ganesha, who is known as the Lord of Obstacles, Lord of Beginnings, God of Wisdom, Intelligence, and the Patron of Arts and Science. He is the son of Shiva and Parvati, and depicted as having the head of an elephant, often with one broken tusk, a potbelly, and anywhere from 2 to 6 arms. In Shin Megami Tensei 5, they are of the War God race, and can be obtained with a base level of 57. I find this demon particularly useful since they are resistant to physical and void force attacks. Be wary, however, as they are weak to electricity and dark. At number 9, we have Kali. Kali is a Hindu goddess associated with death, time, and destruction. Kali is represented as the consort of god Shiva, on whose body she is often seen standing on. She is associated with many other Hindu goddesses like Durga, Sati, Rudrani, Parvati, and Chamunda. She is the foremost among the Dasa Mahavidas, the 10 fierce tantric goddesses. Her sacred palace is Calcutta, where she still retains many followers who worship her as a mother goddess. In Shin Megami Tensei 5, Kali is of the Fem race. Her base level is 76 and is weak to ice and force elements. They also repel dark and null fire. I feel this demon is very well represented in Megami Tensei, and they are quite a fierce demon to have in your party throughout the series. This might come as a bit of a surprise, but I'm putting Garuda at 8. In Hindu mythology, Garuda is usually the mount of Vishnu. Garuda is depicted as having a golden body, white face, red wings, and an eagle's beak, but with the strong man's body. He wears a crown on his head. He's an ancient, powerful creature in the epics, whose wings flapping can stop the spinning of heaven, earth, and the underworld, as well as large enough to block out the sun. In the Shapatha Brahmana mentions Garuda as the personification of courage. Garuda is an enemy of the Naga race. In Shin Megami Tensei 5, Garuda is from the avian race and has a base level of 64. They are weak to electric and resist light with the ability to absorb force. Overall, I had to put this one higher since the theological piece of Garuda's history is really cool to me, and they are also a pretty versatile demon to use as well. I've decided to rank Ananta maybe higher than some expect, since the lore behind this demon is super cool. Ananta is the king of all Nagas according to Hindu mythology, and one of the primal beings of creation. Ananta is said to hold all the planets in the universe. He is usually depicted as a massive coiled serpent with as many as 5 to 1,000 heads, sometimes wearing an ornate crown on each head. The heads are not only venomous, but spew fire as well. He was born from the mouth of the sleeping Balarama, the sun god's brother, where he devoured all but Balarama's head. At the end of each Kalpa, which is the time period allotted to the earth, the serpent destroys all creation. Pretty cool, right? If there wasn't even more fascinating demons ahead, from a lore perspective alone would push it into the top 5. You could obtain Ananta at a base level of 59, and is weak to force and dark, and nulls ice, electric, and light. They are the dragon race in Shin Megami Tensei 5. At 6 we have Vasuki, Serpent King in Hindu mythology, who is described as having a gem called the Nagamani on his head. Vasuki is famous for coiling around Shiva's neck, who blessed him and wore him as an ornament. In the legend of the turning of the Milk Ocean, Vasuki allowed the Devas and the Asuras to bind him to Mount Mandar to use him to churn the Amrita, which is the nectar of immortality. This happens after the Devas and the Asuras agreed to join forces to gain the Amrita. It is also said that Indra tricked the Asuras into holding Vasuki by its heads, so that it could inhale its hot breath. However, as the Milk Ocean was churned up, a poison seeped out which threatened the world. So Shiva swallowed the venom as an act of self-sacrifice to prevent the premature destruction of the world, thus earning the title of Blue Throat. He has a sister called Manasa, who is the goddess of snakes and poison. Vasuki only has one weakness to ice. A pretty amazing demon lore-wise, and one that you find yourself using pretty much near the endgame of Shin Megami Tensei 5. They are also a Drake race demon with a base level of 74. At 5 is Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of beauty, luck, good fortune, and love, and is the wife of Vishnu, one of the Trimurti and mother of Kama. She embodies the ideal woman and is said to have charmed many gods with her dance. She is also one of the Tridevi, which consists of Lakshmi, Parvati, Shiva's wife, and Sarasvati, Brahma's wife. Lakshmi is a great healer demon for your party and can be used all the way to the end in SMT. Lakshmi is weak to electric and no light while resisting force. In Shin Megami Tensei 5, they are of the Fem race with a base level of 70. At 4, I've decided to place Parvati here. Parvati is the Hindu goddess of fertility, love, beauty, harmony, marriage, children, and devotion, as well as of divine strength and power. She is also the wife of Shiva. The gods required Shiva's offspring to defeat their adversaries, so they sacrificed Kama in order to stroke Shiva's suppressed desire for a female partner. The two reunited eventually and together gave birth to Kartikeya and later on Ganesha. Parvati is weak to fire and resists ice and light. They also null confusion. They are of the Megami race and start with a base level of 35. Parvati is an excellent demon overall, super amazing lore-wise, and you can also carry them for a long time as a healer in Shin Megami Tensei 5. Now in our top 3 we have Krishna, who is said to appear whenever the world is at risk. He is the god of love, compassion, protection, and beauty, along with being a divine hero in Hinduism. Krishna is recognized as a Savyam Bhagavan, which is the complete incarnation of Vishnu. His name is sometimes translated as all-attractive or dark blue. Krishna is one of the most widely worshipped and popular of all the Hindu deities. In Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, they are of the deity race and a major antagonist in the game. He is weak to dark and resistant to light. They are also a summonable ally, and you obtain them with a base level of 87. This may not be much of a surprise, but at number 2 I have Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the primary deities in the Hindu pantheon. He is called the Preserver, and is known for a kindly demeanor and genuine interest in the welfare of humanity. In the Hindu religion, Vishnu the Preserver is one of the 3 principal deities of the Trimurti, which is the Hindu male triad, along with Brahma, the creator, and Shiva. As the Preserver, Vishnu maintains balance within the world, and at the end of our current Aeon, he will appear as his final avatar and judge whether mortals have been good or evil. After this, the universe will end and creation will start anew. He is depicted with up to 4 arms, blue skin, holding a chakra wheel, a lotus flower, a mace, and a conch, and he also rides on the back of Garuda. He also sleeps on the back of the great Naga named Ananta. He is also the husband of Lakshmi in Shin Megami Tensei 5. He is under the deity race and is weak to fire and repels light. Vishnu starts at base level 87 and is my ideal endgame healer. And our final spot and the highest ranked demon I have in Hindu mythology and in Megami Tensei is Shiva. While he is known as a destroyer, he is also considered to be a benevolent and beneficial force, as without destruction, new creation couldn't take place. He also acts against premature destruction, going far enough to withstand great suffering. He is depicted with up to 4 arms, a third eye, a blue throat, matted hair, carrying a trident and a drum, and is often accompanied by a serpent and rides on the back of the sacred bull Nandi. He is the husband of the goddess Parvati in all her incarnations and has 2 sons, Ganesha and Skanda. He also has many incarnations that would go on to become sacred figures in their own right, such as Hanuman. In Shin Megami Tensei 5, he's a Fury Race demon who can only fuse after beating him as an optional boss after you defeat Vasuki. His only weakness is ice. Shiva has a base level of 96, and if you're able to fuse this demon, congratulations, because this is truly a demon of epic proportions from a lore perspective and effectiveness battle across the Shin Megami Tensei games. This concluded my ranking, and I do hope you learned more about Hindu mythology, as I was not too familiar with it, and it was super fun researching these demons for the ranking. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.